friends, I'm Laura, and welcome to my podcast, Her Journey Towards Change. This is a faith-based life coaching podcast for women who, like me, are on a journey to live the best life possible. And then something happens, something unforeseen, and everything changes. Life feels foreign and you feel stuck. And it's difficult to move forward, and reaching out can be hard, right? Believe me, I know. If this is you, this podcast is for you. I don't claim to have all the answers, but I know who does. God wants more for us, for you and for me. You were created to live your best life. So I hope you will go on this journey with me to a more positive perspective and take those hard steps together through her journey towards change. Together, let's break through the barriers which are holding us back from achieving what God has called us to be. So let's go, and I hope you will go on this journey with me. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I am Laura, your host, and you are listening to Her Journey Towards Change. And today is Monday, and I hope your Monday is going well. If you're like many, you have come off of a weekend where maybe you were resting and relaxing or visiting family and friends or traveling, and now you're back to work. So you are back to work on this Monday, and maybe you are facing some stressors that you weren't expecting. So I want to talk today about 4 go-to stress relievers. Today is episode number 82. If you're like me, you will often be faced with various stressors throughout the week. That's just life, right? As long as we're living on this side of heaven, we will be faced with stressful moments. But the thing is, we don't have to let it control us. We have options. Yeah, we actually have options. And I want to share a few ways that help me when I'm dealing with stress. First one is recognize and readjust. It's not easy when we are in that moment of stress to recognize what is happening to us and within us. But what helps me is to be mindful and take notice of my body language, my thought process, the words I'm saying, and my feelings and emotions. Believe me, it is one of my first signs of stress. I usually tense up, my thoughts begin to control my actions, and just like a runaway train, 9 times out of 10, I will either become tearful, angry, or quiet. Emotions are good, but not when they are out of control. So in those regretful moments, a train wreck usually occurs. I find it helpful to take notice of the warning signs to avoid that ugly, painful train wreck. What does my body look like, and what does it feel like? What kind of thoughts are running through my head? Am I emotional? Do I like or dislike what I see and feel? Once I answer these questions, I can usually calm myself down and have a more reasonable reaction. Number 2, set boundaries. Many times when I'm stressed, I find it very helpful to turn off the noise. If you've ever gone through any type of depression, the noise level becomes so much louder. Even the slightest background noise can be excruciating. I've learned to turn it off. TV, turn it off. Phone, turn it off. Social media, turn it off. Negativity from the news, family, friends, and neighbors, turn it off. It's not the easiest thing to do, but the most necessary if you want to become less stressed. Placing healthy boundaries with the people, places, and things that cause distraction or causing negativity is okay. So set those boundaries. Number 3, pray. Prayer may seem so out of reach when we're stressed, but for me, it's a life changer. I can go from saying those silent breath prayers to the tear-filled ones on my knees and everything else in between when I'm stressed. It's such a release to know that God is only a prayer away, anytime, anywhere, in any place. He hears, He understands, and He knows what I need. And the last one, number 4, breathe. I think it's funny how we sometimes need to remind ourselves to breathe, but we do. Life can happen so quickly with all the stuff that we kind of get distracted and overwhelmed, and before we know it, we are consumed with more than we can handle. And our stress level is sky high, our bodies begin to feel the pain, and we want to throw our hands up and say, I'm just done. I'm done with it. Before this happens, take a moment to do the 4-7-8 breathing technique. The 4-7-8 breathing technique, also known as relaxing breath, it involves breathing in for 4 seconds, holding the breath for 7 seconds, and exhaling for 8 seconds. I found that when I do this, my anxiety level drops and I am more aware of my purpose. And I can focus and my perspective changes. I feel more in control rather than the circumstances controlling me. And I have more clarity of what my next steps will be. There are many ways to relieve or prevent stress. Some of my other go-tos are walking, listening to music, dancing, journaling, reading, taking a drive, watching a good movie, or playing with my dog, or even calling or texting a friend, or just sitting on my porch listening to nature. One day when I was out with my 2 young grandsons, they were on the playground playing on the slide, and a butterfly landed on the slide that my youngest grandchild was about to go down. So I hurried and I pulled my iPhone out of my back pocket and I snapped the shot. I was so surprised that I got it before it flew away. And that butterfly taught me something. The butterfly can teach us so much about life. It doesn't just all of a sudden become a butterfly, does it? It takes so much time and patience for the butterfly transformation to happen. Growth is a process. I hope these few ideas help the next time you find yourself feeling the stress. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. What are some of your favorite stress relievers? And with today being Monday, I hope that the rest of the week goes well for you and you are stress-free. If you would like to follow me on any of the social media, you can find me most on Instagram at lauraconrad.lifecoach. And if you would like to schedule a free coaching consultation, you can call me at 865-281-1281. I would love to hear from you. And until next time, take care.